Hello and welcome to Pitchside. Massive shout outs to everyone that takes their time to watch the Pitchside content on YouTube, give us feedback, comment, and definitely retweet and, spread the gospel. I really, really do appreciate the love and support. For those of you who are just joining us, this is Pitchside on YouTube, a YouTube channel that, focuses on Ugandan football. So please take a second to hit the subscribe button and let's grow this brand together. Today's edition of Pitchside is a special one. I am joined by one of the biggest music brands in Uganda and, of course, on the African continent. For over 2 decades, he has released countless chart top bangers and, of course, remained very relevant in the music and, most recently, in the sports sector. Big size, Bawazuena, Munene Munene, extra large, guys with all those names, you definitely have guessed the person I have on set today. None other than Mr. Bebecool, aka Rasta, aka the Gagamel boss. It's a pleasure. Rasta, I usually call
Man.
you. Rasta, sir,
Yes.
thank you for coming through on Pizza.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
It's been a minute.
Yes.
Njagala kuloopera,
Mm.
nasooka ne nkubira Cleberson oyo.
Yes.
Nandaga program.
Mm.
Nangamba sijja kusobola. Nengende wa musajja wange Bat Badru. Kakati Rasta ojja mulaba omwaka ogujja. Negamba wano kansooke noonye Rasta mulukeko waga bano ababiri. Tebajja kuntuusa wa mukulu, but I'm happy that I'm here and thank you for coming through. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Sorry, I apologize on their behalf, Ransonga. Until they have the schedule,
Yes.
they know what is tight for me.
Yes.
Era nga bw'olaba nti mbadde siri mu ggwanga for quite some time.
Yeah.
Pushing break the chains enkya n'eggulo. Ate ng'era bw'okitunulamu olumala break the chain ate n'akadda kati tugenda mu politics, tugenda mu campaign za president. So bamanyi n'ebirala ebitambula, so kati oluusi aba tayagala kulimba, because they ask me sometimes for interviews to meet people, nenoonya gap
netugiraba ate kati wano kirungi nkufunye wano because eri gye tulaga tulina district zisuka mu 100 ogenda kwera mu Chopa nga toliiwo. Naye kati nkoze ntya okubeera ku kido Rasta kubanga kati
katusabe Allah kirungi kati wooliwa.
Anyways, Rasta,
Yes.
The one thing that we can all agree on is the longevity you've had in the game.
Yes.
As, of course, a music icon on the continent, in the world, in Uganda.
Yes.
Over 20 years, serious music business, but also in that 20 years, you've managed to put your footprint elsewhere, politics and also football, I should say sport.
Yes.
But before we get to that, break the chains. It would be very unfair of me to start this interview without, first of all, appreciating that the product you put out there, which is Break the Chains,
Thank you.
and the effort you've put in to actually sensitize and tell Ugandans
Yes.
just how important this step is in the Ugandan music industry.
Yeah.
But from your perspective, how has it been? How's the whole thing been, the tours and the reception for the album?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank the viewers for Pitchside. Thank you for watching. My name is Bebecool, and I'm happy you for the first time you've invited me to do this. Is it the first time?
Yes, the first time.
Is.
Yeah.
Yes, Break the Chains is doing so well. It was received with a lot of different feelings from, of course, Ugandans, but beyond Uganda, it has been received perfectly because it is the expected product that, the neighboring countries that have already gone ahead of us musically expect the likes of Bebecool, the likes of top stars to be doing. And of course, not only top stars, but this is what is expected of the recent, trends of music. Yeah. So the reception has been good. The tours have been perfect. The tours have rejuvenated or reignited the thought of what exactly promotion of music should be. I mean, musicians should be doing albums and musicians should be going places to promote the albums. In the past 15 years, there's been so much laxity of just waking up in the morning and saying you're releasing a song and then your people just go and send the song on radios, on TVs, and that's it. But then the actual reality is times have had to, go back to what the sole promotion means. The sole promotion of a product means. It means physical appearance on radio, on TVs, within the regions, within the land of Africa. Go out there, do media tour. It adds on 80%. Why? Because there's a chance that those who don't know who you are, those who don't know what it is about, get first-hand information. They get to see you as an artist. So the trail for Tanzania and Kenya ignited the fact that now I see several artists in Uganda talking about doing albums and talking about doing media tours. That's what it means. It's not going to be a product in 1 year showing its result in 1 year, but I'm sure now the music industry in Uganda has started a third journey.
Yeah.
A third journey that will now see product or results in probably between 5 to 10 years from now.
Yeah, Bebecool, the person that you are and the music catalog that you have.
Yes.
When I sit back here and I'm seated with you here on an interview,
Yeah.
there are countless top songs that I've grown up listening to
Yes.
that I love. But to imagine that you've put all that behind and you're actually pushing, a new album like Break the Chains.
Yes.
What is the motivation? What's that fire? Like you would have said, I have Fire Anthem,
Achieved. Yes.
I have everything,
It's the patriotism, it's the patriotic spirit that I have, because I see so much potential in Uganda, because I see my duty. God has given me the opportunity to be who I am,
Yeah.
to sit where I'm seated right now.
Yes.
To sit is, to be a big star. To be a big star, you're supposed to be doing things that can make changes in people's lives. So I work with the NRM government. I work with President Museveni. What do I want people to remember me for having worked with the government, with the President Museveni? I want people to remember me by seeing the actual, or by feeling the actual, changes in themselves that are affected by me, that are affected by the things that I've done. So if I stop music now after getting all the knowledge, that would not help the young people or the industry. But with the trends of things and how things are moving, the more I keep engaging, the more I keep making positive changes, the more the young generation will adopt. And when the young generation adopts, the country's sector becomes better. The economic function of the sector becomes better. People earn jobs, people earn a better living. So my sitting back would have destroyed a lot. But if they see me continuing, the mindset will change. Break the Chains is more of a mindset change program. Mindset change program. Believe, continue. Music, you're not doing it for only you as Bebe. You're doing it for also other people, your children, your sisters, your grandchildren. The technology has changed. Show them the direction. Show them how possible things are. I did interviews in the UK. My media tour in the UK is your best example.
Yeah.
I'm the first East African artist to do such a media tour in the UK. To go to BBC twice in the same week, to go Capital, The Beat. Those are top radios in the UK, okay? But an artist here wouldn't have believed that it's possible they can do it unless if I go do it. So that's the main reason why it's not yet time for me to, throw down the towel and just let go. At the best time when I am fully equipped of experience, knowledge, social capital, and the environment that has been put politically for us to be able to benefit economically.
Yeah, but for 2 or 3 decades, for the Bebecool brand to stand this long and also be diverse in football, in music, in politics, there has to be that one unique thing or two that a young person out there can learn from you that has pushed this brand to reach this level and even go further.
I'm a person who believes that my country has all the opportunities.
You've always explained that.
I have always said this. The truth is, if you gave me the USA and Uganda and you told me where are the opportunities of success in life, I would still tell you up to now that it is Uganda. The reason why I say so is as simple as this. The opportunities in the United States of America have been taken 80%. That's why it is a first world country. people have the infrastructure has been built, the technology has been put in place, things are happening already. So if you're looking for opportunity, you're not going to compete with those who have already been established. If you're looking for opportunity of development, you're going to go to places where there's no development.
And maybe that gives you a head
So
start.
that's what has kept on giving me, the thought, the energy, the belief that, you know what, this is what you should do, because the opportunity is open, the chance is there. It depends on how you see things, but the best way to see things is just continue doing, because the opportunity is there.
So basically, grab the opportunity
Yes,
and push yourself.
that's it.
Very, very important for the young people out there who
Yes,
always are asking how they can strive and be like Bebecool.
yes,
All right, enough of the music and the album and everything. Let's get to sport. What is your
yes.
earliest memory of associating with sport as Bebecool?
Of course, I come from a family of sports.
Yes.
My father was sports oriented, on the national team of Uganda. He was once a coach, I think, on the KCC, which is
Club
KCC A Today Club,
and the Uganda
and the
Cranes,
Uganda Cranes, of course. He's been a major, pillar in the sports in sector of Uganda.
without a
So
doubt.
somewhere, somehow, I also did a lot of sports in my school. I did athletics, and then I ended up in football. I played soccer. I remember I always tell people I quit soccer because I lost all my 10 nails. I put on a very tiny, boot,
Size, yeah.
and then I played during a hot season. And then when I took off my socks, all my nails went off with the socks. So that's
Tough.
how I quit. So, but I only quit physically. I never quit mentally. And sports has always been my relaxation position since I started singing music. The only thing that takes away my mind and refreshes my head is football.
Is football.
Yeah,
We talk football, and of course, it's a sport that unites everyone across
yeah,
the world, and it goes a long way in unifying people, like
yes.
they say. But what is that one spark that now glued you to football? It could have been a football player, it could have a moment. What's that one thing you remember? You're like, now let me support football or something like
The
that.
engagement. I mean, football has that thing in it that millions of people are about it. People choose teams. People argue out. There's a lot to talk about in football. There's a lot to entertain you in football. A player, a set of players, a team, coaching style, different, coaches, fashion now. There's too much to discuss within just football. So it was always interesting me.
Just how important was that Thierry Henry era
The Thierry Henry era
influencing you?
found me when I had just fallen too much in love with football. I had just 2 to 3 years prior. That's when I had fallen in love with Arsenal as a club, which I was introduced to by a friend of mine instead, who was a supporter of Manchester United.
That's weird.
Yeah, I remember that's when I started to actually now get out of home and go watch football in bars and meet people, make friends. That's when I started making appointments with fellow friends, men, boys,
To sit and
to
catch the
sit
game.
and catch games. You know, so yeah, it's just more than just the ball and the foot on it. It became a program that I always looked forward to over the weekend, rather than before I was always looking forward to only disco.
Yeah.
But now I started to look forward to football, meeting people, making arguments, and up to now, along the way, I even went crazy. Just before the Thierry Henry, had I got my
Your son.
wife,
Yeah.
and then when she got pregnant, I told her, when if you give birth to a boy, I'm gonna name him Thierry Henry,
And
Thierry,
that's how it
and that's
happened.
how Alpha became Thierry. Yes,
And it made headlines in Uganda, of
yes,
course,
indeed. At that
because
time,
at that time Thierry was on fire and everything.
indeed.
Today, of course, Thierry Henry is a pundit. He's quit football, but he remains someone people look up to a lot and refer to him for
100%.
everything that he did. As someone who is very, very devoted in sport and
Yes.
football, what has football taught you? What are those things that you pick out from sport as a human being in your everyday life, and you point out and say, football teaches you ABCD?
Football is a uniting factor. That's the
Yes.
most important thing.
Yes.
Football can unite any type of a person.
Yes.
Football is food for the soul. It's entertainment. Its unification factor has an entertainment aspect in it. It has a financial aspect in it. It has a political aspect in it. It has recently you just saw the president. I don't think Ugandans knew that the president follows or watches
So
games.
informed.
They
Yeah.
is fully informed. So to me, that is what I find as important in the soccer game.
Yeah.
The unification factor. And that is number one in life, in the world.
Yeah.
Unity.
What are those things that you think sport and football has helped your kids actually become better in one or another?
A sport, football in specific is one sport that I made sure my children will do because of one, my interest in it, and on the side of development of the country, it was a sector that had to come up at a certain time.
Yeah.
If you succeed, it's a very good paying sector. But of course, it's a sector that has not yet paid back to my country, to my sports people, to my footballers in Uganda. But I know for sure now that we have together been fighting the FUFA Federation,
Yes.
and the people of Uganda have now fully focused, and the Ministry of Sports and Education, there has been an intentional focus now of late in the last few years to see that the sector develops. I am one of the people who knew very much that it was important for my children to benefit from it. Just like the entertainment, the music sector,
Yes.
the sports sector was going to come. Then the next aspect for my children is the health aspect. Any sports person is always a healthy person, because at the end of the day, you see that even if you're a lawyer, a doctor, a minister, a president, there comes a time when you must be doing sports. You
Yes.
must, for your health, for your life.
Yeah.
So, and most likely, sports people rarely suffer from, some diseases that definitely are cycled around, fat, the heart. There are some specific diseases that you would be writing off. So it was also something that I considered for family, because I have seen many people struggle with things or diseases that they would have walked away with by just, implementing certain cultures within their family line.
Yeah, so it's definitely sport comes along with being
Health,
healthy and
yes.
discipline
True.
and
Exactly.
and hard work.
Of course.
All right. Rasta, I'm going to refer him as Mr. because that's what they call him in the KCCFC circles.
Yes.
And in Ugandan football, Mr. Jaberi Vidandisali
Yes.
is a revered football administrator in this country.
True.
Worked at KCCFC, worked with the Uganda Cranes. If you
Yes.
look back in the history, the 1978 AFCON, he was one of the people on the touchline.
Yes.
Well, he was really involved into football administration,
Yes.
which is not exactly who you are, being involved directly, like how you can say you're at club X and you have a role that you're playing, but behind the scenes you're definitely doing something. What do you pick out from Muzee's efforts in football, and maybe you're applying it today and to the young Bebecools that you have in the house?
Mr., who most people call Mr.,
Yes.
Honorable Jaberi Dandisali, was a visionary person. My father could see beyond his eyes. My father, politically, economically, and socially, could see way beyond. And that is the fate that sealed his career in life, because he could tell by that time that if you move politics and sports, you then have direct contact with people. But not only direct, and how the question would have been, how do you use that contact with the people?
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
The people get to understand what politics means and how best they can benefit from it and how to engage with politicians. But also, it is a natural job that can easily feed a 360 kind of
Setup.
setup. In football or soccer, it's not just a footballer who benefits. For one game to happen, you have about a team has about 25 players.
Yeah.
Though on the pitch there's 11, but there's 25 players per team, so that is 50 players. And then the coaching system, about 10 on each side.
Yes.
So that is
60,
70
70, give or take.
people. But before the 70 you're talking about people who are taking care of a pitch.
Yeah.
You're talking about the security personnel. You're talking about the people who are taking care of the jerseys. You're talking about the people who are going to sell things in the game. You're talking about the people who are collecting on the door. You're talking about the border borders and taxis and cars that are ferrying the people to the game. You're talking about an economy. Because for politics to thrive, you need a good economy.
Yeah.
But you're talking mainly about unemployed people getting an opportunity without being questioned of education.
Yeah.
Meaning that football was a direction that would have employed, or sports is a direction or a sector that can employ or was able to employ every Ugandan, regardless of their education.
Yes.
So my father saw that earlier. And so his involvement was to engage and give confidence to everyone to look at the sector.
Okay. So today you, I mean, I'm going to put you on the spot here briefly, Bebe, but I know for
Yes.
sure that you'll find a way of dodging it. Mr. is yellow. His blood is yellow.
Yes.
You know, he's a KCCA fan, and
Yes.
people have always visited him and appreciated him for his support.
True.
But the world doesn't know where Mr. Bebecool stands with Ugandan football and a club that he supports. I know you've been on record by saying that you'll support every club that Alpha plays for.
True.
But surely
But
there's
by
that
blood.
by blood.
By blood, I'm KCC, of course.
Wow, that's interesting.
The reason why Alpha had to go, or I had to take him to Express, I had to take him to NEC,
Yes.
is because now his football has nothing to do with my blood. It's a system that he had to go through.
Or to reach where he is.
To reach where he will ever reach, he has to go through certain situations. Going to KCC, to Express, Express was facing a situation that any player who played in that situation and achieved even a season would be a player who understands problems in life, that if they get a chance to get to a better life, they would never take it for granted.
Also, it's more of an experience.
So an experience.
Yeah.
Express has the harshest supporters that no matter what good you do, if you do bad, those supporters are going to eat you.
you
So
have to go
as much
back
as I had a dream for my son to play in Europe or wherever, inshallah, if it happens, those are places where there's a lot of, fans attacking players for different reasons, for playing bad, for not being consistent and stuff like that. So I needed my son to get that at an early stage.
go through it
Go
and
through
then
it,
find a way.
because then I don't expect Alpha to ever walk to me one day and tell me that he has been insulted. He got it real hot from Express. I mean, no joke. We don't care who you are. Go and play and give us results.
Yeah,
That's the point.
The fans don't think twice about that.
Exactly.
So before we get to the Alpha, talk and Q&A, let's start with the Star Times Uganda Premier League.
Yes.
In the recent years, you've been, a follower of the league. You've been attending games and watching games here and there. For starters, what's your assessment of the Uganda Premier League, competitively, branding-wise, and in terms of youth development?
Well, I first of all must thank everyone who has worked towards the development of the football sector or the sports sector in Uganda, because from the outside, we've been seeing it differently. You're watching the Premier League, you're watching Champions League, you're watching the German Bundesliga, La Liga, and you're also watching the Uganda Premier League. So you're totally comparing these leagues based on your eyes without putting a consideration of the economic factor.
Where the other leagues are played.
Where the other leagues are played, how much money is invested in, and stuff like that, why they are investing that kind of money, and why those systems are applicable in environments where there is money and stuff like that. Vis-a-vis what a developing country, a third world country like Uganda, trying to put in a very small amount of money in the sports, in FUFA, not even in football, but in FUFA. But how many federations do we have in football? Different sports.
Oh, different sports. Yeah,
Yeah.
over 50.
Over 50.
Over
Let's
50
say a number
federations.
60.
Yeah.
Okay. But then when you look at the budgets that have been applied into the Ministry of Sports for the sports sector only, for the 60 federations
Yeah.
to run, imagine the 60 federations receiving about 40 billion on a financial year. That's if even 40 billion has ever come.
Yeah.
But the federations are 60.
Yes.
And they are supposed to receive 40 billion in a financial year. How are they supposed to use 40 billion divided by 60 federations? Even if they are not sharing equally, let's say football takes only 20. It has taken half of the money. And then even 20 billion, how can 20 billion support the Football Federation of Uganda to bring it to even closer 20% or 30% of development of what we expect as Ugandans? It was always impossible. So to me, the development or the football sector in Uganda, or the sports sector, has had a lot of challenges financially, which have blocked the actual development that we all expected or would have expected. So I've followed for quite some time during Mulindwa's time,
Yeah.
and now during Magogo's time as FUFA president. I've seen development. I don't witness a lot in during Mulindwa's time,
Yes.
but there were definitely good things that happened. There were also bad things, but I've also seen a lot of good things happening in Magogo's times, where there's systems that are being put in place, or have been put in place at least, that were not there before. We are seeing stadiums being built. I'm seeing steps ahead. I now see we have some football programs.
Yeah.
Besides having entertainment bloggers, now we have sports bloggers like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have commentators. We have sports programs. We have a sports TV or 2 or 3 now, a channel specifically for sports. So I can see that there is now intentional purpose of development of football in the country.
Okay, so do you think that reflects in the league? Because do you think the teams are equally competitive, or the clubs in the league, are they competitive, or do you think there are things that they lack that they need to improve on to actually have a better league? Because in the East African region, our league is one of those that is struggling. In Tanzania, it's better. In Kenya, it's picked up. You know, I don't want to go to North Africa and all, but your perspective on the league's competitiveness.
The perspective on the league's competitiveness has nothing to do with how the league is run. It has everything to do with the fact that the knowledge is not yet here. We are using footballers from the streets. We are using footballers, nearly those who you don't have a history about them being in academies. We only have we have academies in Uganda, but until when I joined Cambio, it was my first time. I had never seen what they call a system.
In an academy?
In football.
In football.
Yes. The people we are talking about, these countries, England, Spain, Italy, German, what? For the Premier League in England to be what it is, it began with preparation from age 3 of a player. It begins from grassroots. Systems put in place. Academies training children, academies having trainers who have been trained
to do the right things.
Yes. Not players who played some football to come and become coaches at academies.
So the human resource.
The human resource, the knowledge. Programs, how does a child get trained? What training them into what? what are the basics that they must be training? Why, when, how? The why, when, how? Because by the time a child gets to age 16, those English people have already known whether that player will go through in football or not.
So that is what we are not.
So here in Uganda, we expect our league to be pulling people into the stadiums, yet the preparation, the reason why people are pulled into the stadiums is if players are so good. Imagine if we had like 20 Okelos. Everyone would love to go to different Namboles to watch those 20 Okelos.
Yeah.
But how many Okelos have been prepared? You get it? Give a person a reason to go to Nambole to watch a game. So it all comes from the grassroots. The grassroots is prepare players. Let's start with the systems that prepare good players. Good players will bring audiences into the stadiums as the government is building stadiums.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
As we are fighting for the money being given to the Ministry of Sports to be increased, we should focus on the most important aspect of how are we building the players. I'll give you a good example.
Yeah.
At Cambio, all the young players, of course, all the kids are young, but all of them are in schools. Are in schools in Masaka.
Yes.
They are in certain tournaments. For them to be registered for on a certain system, they have to be registered within the local competitions,
Where the academy is.
whichever where any academy would be.
Yes.
But now, what we are talking about is, do our academies have people with the knowledge of how young people are trained in an academy? Do we have professionals with the technical knowledge, technical know-how? A player should be trained between age 3 and 16. The answer is no.
Oh.
So is FUFA equipped enough to bring coaches from Europe to start teaching our coaches or owners of academies? Can we get, is FUFA equipped financially to bring exchange programs to take our academy owners and coaches into Europe for 2 to 3 months to learn, to understand the system, how players are brought up in a system? Is FUFA financially equipped enough to bring those coaches to also act here? Because at El Cambio, what we do, we have coaches coming in from Europe to stay for 3 months. They are the ones who train with our local coaches, who train the children. Yes. They know exactly what to train, when to train, how to train. And those kids are followed up throughout the whole 16 years.
16 years?
Yes. Because at 16, that's when the player shows exactly what they are capable of. And then the next 2 years, the player is supposed to be assessed by the club, because the club has been following the player from age 9. That's how those good players are made. Those are not the systems that we have. And we cannot blame the FUFA, because sometimes even if they wanted to do those things, or if they had the ideas, the financial constraint and the technical knowledge has been lacking.
All right. So you've been mentioning El Cambio here. You've mentioned El Cambio a couple of times.
Yes.
And I wanted to find out from you, because as pitch side, we hadn't known that this was the development that is happening.
Yes.
You've decided to go into football development. Is it a case of you investing in El Cambio? How are you part of El Cambio, and how are you working with the academy called El Cambio that we know is in Masaka?
I work with the academy because that's the first individual, the owner of the academy is the first individual who brought what they call a system of teaching football to a Ugandan player who will go and play football in Europe and get paid like any other player in the world. That is the first academy. That's the first individual. When he arrived in Uganda, he approached me for a reason that is about 7-8 years ago. He wanted me to just sing a song for the academy.
Yes.
I had to give him an ear because remember that time I had Alpha and I had also my little other boys. I had already made a decision for them. Yes, Kason and Dean, I already made a decision for them to be footballers. So when he met me, he explained to me. I gave him questions, and I just saw one of the saviors of the football industry in Uganda.
Saviors, you say?
Saviors. I will say it a million times.
Yes.
Because he explained to me things that I definitely saw at that time that is what exactly the country needs. To be brief,
yes,
for 7 years, I have supported and protected that gentleman and that program,
El Cambio.
El Cambio. And now, in the 7 years, the first set of children that are coming out made miracles happen recently.
The Bogeres.
Bogere.
There are 4 players who came from El Cambio.
Yeah, and what did they do?
They helped Uganda qualify for the World Cup.
Has Uganda qualified for World Cup before?
No, they've never.
Has
First
Uganda
time.
ever qualified for World Cup? It's the first time. Under 17.
Yeah.
They qualified for World Cup. And it is not just because those players were the only players. Of course, the whole team and the coach. Give credit. Now, the reason is not because El Cambio is special without the other players, but I'm trying to say that now there's a sign. There's a sign someone has what we have been missing as Uganda, the knowledge, the technical know-how.
So, Bebecool, what happens at El Cambio now? Do you have coaches from Europe, from Newcastle, from... How is it and how are they helping the kids?
It is a full system.
Yes.
So this gentleman came with a system, exactly a system that operates in Europe, how players are brought up. Of course, I can't explain to you that, but I'm saying this country needed someone to bring the system. There's a system of how players are made. It is not just a player is good and tomorrow they are good.
Yes,
no,
there's a process.
A chance. We could have had Majidu Musisi. Yeah. That's one. But football is not made by 1 or 2 or 3. Rest in peace. Football is not made by 1, 2 or 3 players. Football is made by so many coaches, so many talents, so much investment, so much time, systems in place and systems followed.
Okay, so there's a facility in Masaka.
Yes.
I've seen a video and pictures of a stadium. Okay, not a stadium, but a football pitch.
Yes, an academy.
Yeah, of the academy and all. So all that is there for the kids to use.
Yes.
Do they study and play football at the same time?
Yes, they study. So these kids are fully housed by El Cambio. Yeah. They stay there 12 months. They don't go back home, not even for holiday. In 12 months, they go for holiday only 30 days, in December only. These kids are scouted from all over Uganda. It's not any favor. These kids live football, sleep football. They eat football, but they also go to schools in Masaka. But the program is supposed to create a school at the academy. The interest of El Cambio is to build one of the biggest academies in Uganda. The interest of this proprietor of academy is to also be able to exchange knowledge with other academies.
Like Proline.
Whoever coach wants to learn the system of how he's ready. He wants to share knowledge. We have sat in meetings with FUFA. We are working to, El Cambio is working with FUFA. FUFA is working with El Cambio. El Cambio has given in the offers anytime soon. They are coming up with ideas of how best they can share this knowledge so that the grassroots preparation
is handled
properly. So even if government builds 50 stadiums, Ugandans will never go there because there are no players to watch. But if you start preparing good players from the grassroots,
yes,
then everyone will be attached. One Okero sends the whole village to go to watch a game because 1, family 2, culture 3, a village 4, districts. Every district should have an Okelo.
And that's how football will grow. All right, as we leave the youth development structure discussion, how are your boys doing now? They're in Masaka. um I don't know how you arrive at that decision. How are they adjusting to life in Masaka? These are people who are used to being in your house
Yoga,
here in
meal.
Chiwatule, being picked up by the mom, and you decide
Yes.
to misbehave, Bebecool, and take your boys to Masaka and suffer.
Um, I think I'm proud. Me and my wife, we are proud and happy that we made that decision.
Yeah.
But also the whole family, Alpha is happy and proud. Beata, Kaysan and Dean, who are there, are extremely too happy. When Kaysan and Dean went there, one, they had played some good football before, so my friend was watching them. So when they got there, Kaysan asked the proprietor, he asked the director that, but I don't understand my father.
Yes.
Why did he take so long
To bring me
to
this
bring
side.
me here?
Kaysan.
Yes. And these are the things that are
Wow.
happening there. Not
Yeah.
only taking them to Masaka to the academy, but they're also in schools in Masaka. Kaysan is in senior one and is in Chimanya.
I know Chimanye says.
Yes.
near
Dean
Masaka
is in
says.
P4
Yes.
in one of, is it light something primary? Somewhere there. He walks 2 kilometers every day in the morning to go to school. And they walk back to the academy hostels in the evening. They shower cold water because there's no privilege of sharing hot water. That was in Chiwatule. They eat in a group.
And they eat what has been
And
cooked.
they eat what has been cooked. There's no these things that, Dad,
Bring me KFC.
there's no yogurt in the fridge.
Yeah.
No. So that's the kind of life on the other side that I would have wanted my children to grow through, because you never know tomorrow, everything is gone, and then you find your children disgruntled. Yet you find kids who have grown into that life, through that life, they are not shaken by anything. Even if things are not there, they are standing,
They
they're
move
surviving,
forward.
they are pushing. So I wanted to bring up, very hard kids. If you look at Alpha also, that's why from Kaboja he didn't go to Budo or Kisubi.
There's a story he told, I was reading in the media, that one time you picked him up late and he actually had the guts to question you.
Yes,
Said, why you picked me here?
at that time Alpha was at Kabira.
Yes.
In nursery. So we came late with the mother, and then I heard him ask the mother, but Mom, what is it that you're doing? How comes you guys can come and pick me this late? What are you doing? How can you do this? So I just looked at the kid and I said, this kid hasn't learned how to write his name, but is ready questioning the parents for coming late to pick him. Does he know that we're looking for all the 7 million to pay for his each term?
Yeah.
I said, no. So I said, I'm removing the kid from Kabira, and I took him to a normal nursery school where now he had to focus on the books and not the time when he's supposed to be picked up.
And he became a better person.
And also, his secondary, instead of taking him to those big schools for the name in sec,
The traditional
yes,
schools.
I took him to Kitante Hill, where I went. Kitante Hill is a day school. I went to Kitante Hill School. I'm a successful individual. How do you tell me that you won't be successful in Kitante? It's now you, the person, the mentality.
Yeah.
That's how he played his football. That's how he has learned life. Most people do not really know that boy. And sometimes I feel so small when I see people talk about him or talk harshly or comment negatively. I just wonder and I pray. The good thing is many people will be parents. Some are already parents. I've seen, I've seen them talk, say things, and I just wonder but anyway, case in point,
Yeah.
simplicity. The boys are doing good in Masaka. They are learning. They've been there for just 8 months. They are in kids who are so hard and tight and good. So every other week there are
Bamanye
challenges. Kati bagize naku. I met them last weekend. Bagubye nokuguba.
Bakoze.
Dean is no longer the other brown Dean.
I'm sure the mother maybe was shedding a tear.
No.
Of
Of course, it took me 2 years to put her into that situation.
Yeah.
But now she's also proud and happy that we can take a week or two without talking to them.
Oh, and they're okay.
And they're okay.
That's interesting.
Yes.
All right, let's get back here briefly on the league. The league has a new format that has caused a lot of uproar. Fans are disappointed. The federation's point of view is that they are creating competitiveness with the new format of the league. It's going to have 3 phases or 3 rounds. Basically, the top 8 and the bottom 8. Bottom 8 fight for relegation. Top 8 fight for the championship. I know you've seen a few things here and there.
Yes, yes.
What's your perspective about FIFA introducing a new league at this point in time? Yet people are used to the old league.
I haven't really scrutinized it well, but this is what I know about new systems.
Yes.
Humans will always reject new things because they are used to old things.
Yes.
That is a natural occurrence,
Yeah.
first of all. So, now, number 2, I think maybe there needed to be time to
To like
teach people what exactly
the system will
the
be.
system is and its advantages and disadvantages. But also on the other side of you wanting time, there may not be enough time to take the whole country through
the new format.
the new format. Because as soon as a league closes, in a couple of months it always begins. Though the right process would have been, if I may think,
Yes.
that funds available go through the whole country, discuss, let people give their thoughts about it and stuff like that, then explain why it has a. But that is based on the fact that if there was money and time.
Let's move to Chan. They just concluded Chan tournament.
Yes.
I saw you attended some of the games at the Mandela National Stadium.
Yes.
Uganda co-hosted with Kenya and Tanzania.
Yes.
What's your brief analysis of how the tournament was hosted in the 3 nations?
Well, I won't speak for Kenya and Tanzania because I wasn't there, but I'll speak for Uganda. And I would like to congratulate the Ministry of Sports and Education. And I also want to congratulate FUFA. That's a very big step ahead. The organization, the way things ended up, we are all now seeing that now whichever funds didn't even differentiate between CAF and the international games.
Yeah.
The second you just advertise that Uganda Cranes is going to play, we all just go online and buy tickets. Let me be clear here. Uganda has never thought that buying tickets online would
yeah.
even be an
Effective,
option.
actually.
Effectively.
Yeah.
We tried it in concerts. We did what? Now see, football has done it. Now, recently I saw Cindy, an artist, saying that, wow, all my VIP tickets were bought online because the CAF taught people that it is actually effective and very good when you buy tickets online. So that is a tick. Ugandan fans came out very simply, not going, no, people are not complaining, oh, fake tickets here, that ticket is out the way. We are not seeing people fighting on gates. We are seeing people walking in very humbly and people walking out very humbly. Terrible vuyo, terichi. These achievements are so important that another person like my wife, who never watched a football game, can easily say, Moses, over the weekend I'm going to Nambole to watch the game.
Because of the atmosphere.
Because of the atmosphere, because of what they are seeing. Those are the most important aspects that we should be looking at. So, Chan, kudos.
Kudos.
Kudos, FUFA.
So 2027, we are good to go.
Oh my God. Whatever games that are going to come in for AFCON in Uganda, Ugandans are going to be the best ever in the world, in Africa, when it comes to supporting football.
Yeah.
Because now everyone knows we are only waiting for tickets to be up.
And the fans will come.
I believe that Ugandans, by 2 o'clock, the game day, you can't find a single ticket anywhere.
Yeah, tickets. I mean, there was a proper system.
Yes.
Guys bought the tickets, scan, enter, and
so
go.
for me, that's where I give credit to FUFA, to Magogo. Straight away.
For a good job done.
Yes.
On the pitch, your boys,
Yeah.
they won first time ever Chan, 2 straight games.
Yeah.
Reached the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Of course, that fantastic fight against South Africa, which ended 3-3.
Yeah.
What's your point? What's your take from the Uganda Cranes performance at the Chan tournament overall?
It was a good performance based on how we've been performing before. And what we need to do is to continue encouraging our players, but also to note is that I, as Moses Bebe, I want also the system of players to be changed. We need to field young players. We need to lose these cups, but at least we should gain from development.
So you want younger faces on the national team?
Yeah, we need young, not just on the national team. We need club football and national team football to become football for young players. So here it goes down to the clubs. Clubs need now to go back to accepting the reality of playing young players on the pitch. Play half young, half experience. If Uganda beats, was it Mozambique? We beat 4?
Yeah, Mozambique, yeah.
4 goals against Mozambique at 70th minute. The coach has an opportunity to play a 19-year-old. Introduce them for experience purposes. The coach hasn't. There you see that being done every single day on Premier League when we are watching.
You have developed Thierry Alpha Ssali for a number of years now.
Against a lot of very old thinking mindsets.
Before we get to them old mindsets, how proud are you now, today, 2025, about Alpha Thierry Ssali?
I'm proud about him. I'm proud of the whole situation because it's still a journey, and I'm sure of my journey with him. Why I'm sure is because these things I expect them. I expect to hit walls, rigidity, mindset. It's not easy to change people's thinkings. The coaches have different visions. The commentators have different thoughts about what should be done. You yourself,
that's all in the mix.
All that is in the Katogo that I was talking about, which is expected, and it's okay. So for me as a father, I'm proud of myself for having been the first father to fully come out and say it is important for parents to support their children in talent. And this is at the point in which I am going to say this.
Yes.
And let me say it without my glasses.
Yes.
It is very unfortunate that some Ugandans don't use their brains to think very well.
Yes.
7 years ago or 10 years ago, every person who has an academy keeps telling parents to support their children
in their
football.
Yes.
Not in their academies,
in their football
their careers.
Yes.
And then here comes interviews. I don't know whether these young men be drunk or their brains are weak.
Yes.
But here comes people saying Bebecool has to aino kuva mupiira gw'omwana we. Ng'ate eggulo limu be babadde bagamba abazadde musupportinge abaana bammwe. Be part of your children's career.
Yes.
Naye kati they are the same people telling me nti Bebe yalemesa ani omwana ali mu kariya y'omwana. Kale, how are you going to get other parents supporting their children if that is the judgment you're saying? If kukino ekintu kyemulabirako ddala nti nno bw'oyingira kariya y'omwana n'omusupportinga ogenda kubeera part of it because onoonya wiini.
Tosobola kumuleka wali.
Tosobola
gonodde eno.
Tosobola because you have been part of him from age 3. Omunoonyeza success. Nawe wenoonyeza success nti nno ekintu kyemuzimbye ekikoze eki kize. Ate nalibadde ndowooza nti nno bapanditsi bonna n'abantu ababyogerako balitekinze the better part of it than the other negative that they don't even know the reasons why they are saying it.
You'd rather at least they advise.
Nawulira ng'agamba nti Bebecool yatwala omwana mu express bwe bamutuuzaako n'amugjayo. Mbuliraayo agent omu akkiriza player we atuule ku bench ng'ali ku form. Ekisinga okunyiiza ku bana abasajja abamu era kyova olaba nti era nze nkola analysis ng'omuntu ayogera ne mukebera ne ndaba achievement ze kubanga kino ekintu nkyogera nnyo achievement. Yes. Achievement zo zistandinga for your knowledge. Level zo we watuuka zistandinga for your knowledge. Tosobola kubuulirira abantu nga gwe walemwa ng'oli failure tomanyi kubala ate gwe gwokole solution ya equation oba tosobola no sijereze muntu
but okiwadde
context. Alpha bwe yayingira Express yateeba goolo 3 mu first round si kyekyo Alpha teyayamba Express okusigala mu league by scoring those 3 goals. Yakuba goals ezaali very crucial. Njagala buli muntu yenna pandit njagala muddeyo mukebere goolo ezo yazikuba clubs ki era goolo ezo zaleeta points ki era at what time. Era Alpha yali asamba atyo omupiira taata we yali amusambira oba ye yali asamba. Now bw'omala okuvaawo olabe nti coach yali azanya Alpha bwe yali ateeba goolo ezo yali amuzanyisa atya omwana okusobola okuteeba omupiira ogwo goolo ezo n'ateeba ne vira n'agikuba wali ewankulukuuku. Naye coach bwe yakyuka Alpha yali injured okumutuuza ku katebe oba kati njagalamu abapandita babadde boogera bulijjo mbeesunga nga nsirisi. Mulowooza mulina amagezi naye mu underestimating abantu. We have brains tubeera tusirise. Njagala mwebuuze ebintu bibiri kuba mwenna mwaliwo. Mwebuuze Alpha bwe bamutuuza ku katebe yali tabadde ku foomu ya goolo 3 oba yalina injury okutuula ku katebe oba coach yatuuka butuusi n'amufavoringa out. Coach yayinza okuba nga yamufavoringa out nga ye alaba Alpha tasobola kusamba system coach gy'ayagala. Kaakati player bwe bamufavoringa out nga player ali mu development time nga player muto nga omupiira okusamba ku kisaawe kye kigenda okumufuula beta gwe ng'oli coach nga gw'oli agent we gw'okola ki omulekawo n'atuula ku katebe akulire ku katebe awo.
Of course oba olina okunoonya solution.
Lwaki Abannayuganda mwefuula abantu abatategeera ne mwagala okunoonyeza bulikes obutalina amagezi ekifo ky'oku-explainingira abantu how the system works. Nti nno player ali mu makati okuva ku 17 paka ku 22 aba mu development time oba mainly 23. Nti nno player oyo okusamba omupiira obulungi okubeera successful yeetaaga game time. Nti nno player oyo bw'omumma game time n'omutuuza at least ebeerewo ensonga ng'oyogera naye ng'omugamba Alpha omanyi gundi kati akusingayo ateeba nnyo ate gwe olina weakness bweti. Naye omanyi omwana okuddira omwana nga coach amutulako butunzi n'atambula n'agenda. Nze nno nasirikira ebintu bingi era because of a football spirit.
Yes.
I don't want to be online to say things. So mbadde nsaba nnyo bapandits oyo omwana ngenda babuuzayo ekintu. Who is the youngest player in the Premier League nga twogedde amazima emyaka emituufu? So bwe muba mulumbanga abantu mulumbe nga mwerekeramu mujja na ku exposing ebintu bye tutandi exposinze.
Rasta wenjagalira okubuuza nti ku side ya professionalism, do you think it's important for the people, especially the coaches in the league, to actually be more open to players and guide them in case something is short? They should open up and tell a player.
I think professionally speaking,
yes,
mukimanyi nammwe nti ba coaches abalungi abasucceedinze mu kutwala ebikopo, they are very close with the players. They talk. Nze bwe nkuwa Alpha gw'ofuuka taata we ow'okubiri gwe kooki. Nze mansuubira nti sina nakubonaabona nakubuulirira na mwana kumubuulirira by'abawala bya disco byaki kuba gwe kooki omwana bw'atambula n'ajja ku kisaawe oba osobola okulaba noga ono alabika yakooye teyawummudde kuba gwe okiraba ku kisaawe nze sikiraba.
We just come to game day.
So the second father of any footballer is the club coach. The third father of any footballer is the national team coach. They should nkusubira professionally to be fathering, because that's the only way you can get the best out of any player. Nga muli ba mukwano nga akubuulira ebizibu omubuulira omuyamba okubisolvinga kuba mwana. Naye kati gwe nga coach n'ojja eri n'otuulayo kati nze nfuse coach gwe tuula n'obeera nga buli kiseera omubeerako gundi examples gw'owaaye mubi gundi kwegamba n'obeera nga gw'olina specific player gw'odemoralizinga. So coaches who are successful, they embrace every player. Ne ba players abasigadde ku bench be basinga n'okubeera problem fu benalisuubidde be baali badde nnyo ekizibu eri coach nga yeeralikira nti game yadde tugisinze kati nina okuddayo n'enjogera n'abazannyi bange bamaze emyezi 2 tebazannya. Ng'oddira omwana omanyi nti no those clubs zibeeramu n'abaana abatuula half season nga batuddeko ne basigala namu. Ndi musiru okulekawo omwana mbunombu omwana muleke to involving without football game time there is no single player who can develop. You can't develop a player in training only.
Of course,
that's why players abamu bazannyamu leero enkya abalala ne bazannyamu. Sirumba ba coaches, but I'm giving examples of coaches who have succeeded in developing players. Here I'm not talking about winning tournaments or cups, but I'm talking about our biggest problem as Uganda is developing talent.
Okay, Bebecool. So many people were always asking, a boy that is born in the KCCA lineage, why is he not at KCC? And finally, this is what we have now.
Yeah,
Alpha is a KCFC player. Just briefly, how did you come to that decision? And maybe did it involve Mr.? Is he aware that the grandson is now at Lugogo?
We have always looked at game time. We don't look at the fact that we had a linear in KCC. Otherwise, I knew KCC, I know the coaches, we've been friends, even in the KCC office itself.
The CEO and
the CEO and everybody. But it was always to look for playing time. And the other experience that I wanted Alpha to get. In KCC, if we had arrived straight away in KCC, we would have been spoiled as darlings, those things. But with the experience of Alpha knowing how difficult it is to play in a club when you're not getting salary on time or very little salary, a very bad pitch of training, Express doesn't have a pitch. When you get a chance and you get a club that has a pitch, a very well organized management, you cannot play with that. Obeerako n'okwata n'ogamba wano saakola nsobi saakuddayo eri mu kubonaabona okitegedde. The good thing about the discussion with Express, I mean with KCC that I had, everyone knows Alpha's potential. And the coaches that are there, they have seen him before and they have been with him. You saw the other coach who played him, Odoch.
James Odoch, yes.
Odoch. What I know about coaches and players is once a coach gets to know a player, they can get what they want and they can get the best from any player.
Yeah.
So that's why my cry when these people were talking, I didn't understand them. Because you know very well once a player falls out of favor,
they move on.
The player has to move on. There's no question about it. This is a business. This business is against time. That's why you find people who are still saying that a 21-year-old player is a young player. That is only here in Uganda. When you go to Europe, 21
obokivuddemu
because obeera muto naye nga mu system tekyasobola kusupportinga for an investment. They are talking about 14, 15, 16, 17. Oyina okutuuka ku 18 nga already you're on a professional contract. And these are the words that I want all footballers, abapandits mwenna aboogera ku by'emipiira. These are the actual conversations that you should start having. Mulekerawo okwekwekereza just because people are your friends, this and that. Join Magogo and start talking and demanding for the real things. Demand for young players in clubs. Demand for systems that support academies from younghood. Demand for exchange programs. Mudemandinge knowledge.
All right, Bebecool, as we wrap up this interview, is the mission still Europe for Alpha? He's now at KCC, but is the target still Europe?
Let me ask you a question. Is there any player who is playing in Uganda Premier League that doesn't want to play in Europe?
No, That player doesn't.
Or is there any player who is playing in Uganda that doesn't want to play in Europe?
No.
So why is it that they want to name it as a
Alpha.
bad thing for Alpha? Era buli lwe mba njogera ku Alpha njagala mwogereko munjajingire ku mupiira ku kisaawe. Naye bw'oba tonnajajinga mwana oyo ng'olaba coach tannamuwa playing time, mulekerawo ku demoralizing abaana. Because lwe bamuwaako ku playing time mwalaba what is capable of in very harsh conditions. So what about when he gets in good conditions? And this is not just about Alpha. This is about every player. But players, instead of okubabeerawo ne muba creatingako ebiboozibozi just because mufunye channels ez'okwogererako, mubeere analytical enough so that even the fans that see these programs get to understand your reasonings, your technical understanding of the game. Nze ndi muyimbi. If you follow this interview very well, nogiraba nogimalayo, you will see that I have a technical understanding of how a player can be brought up.
Because of the people that have surrounded you.
Because of the people that I surround myself with. But I do respect everyone and their opinion. But you must respect our journeys. Whether we make it or not, we will get somewhere. I don't think President Wafufa Magogo played in Premier League.
No, he didn't.
You should know that football has so many different channels that represent success.
Not only one that everyone knows.
Not only one that you all are looking at. So we prepare all these kids in a lot of different things. Mu preparing abazanyi. Abazanyi bamanye nti waliwo okufuuka coach, waliwo okufuuka liner, waliwo okufuuka academy owner, waliwo okufuuka FUFA president,
physio.
waliwo okufuuka physio, waliwo okufuuka Edgar is CEO. Well, there's a lot.
Not only playing football.
And all those people are successful and they are rich. So, advice yange, mutandika okulookinga into the technical understanding of the football. Let us all do these things in the good cause of developing the game. Thank you.
Okay. We've had a very, very long, heartfelt discussion with Mr. Bebecool here about so many things, but majorly Ugandan football. So you're definitely going to enjoy this interview. You who is going to catch it up later on. Your Arsenal, this season, muti satisa era because near. Season yeno
come to Arsenal ge season chawedde dda ekikopo chafu.
Mwogera we mutyo naye Liverpool mulaba embeera gyetaddewo.
Embeera etaddewo Liverpool naye nsobola okugamba ekintu kimu nti nno Liverpool era terina bench nga Arsenal gyeyina because kati ffenna twakitegeera nti bench is the winning team
in a league, especially
in any league.
It's a marathon.
Yes, because omuntu aloadinga at the right time when you have nothing to do. Okusinziira ku wendabye teams clubs ezo, Man City bwemalira mu kyokuna ejja kubeera very lucky. That is if they don't load mu mid of the season. Ejja kuba very lucky. Then Man U is going through what it went through and even worse.
No,
I want to be specific so that when it at the end of the season, njagala abantu baddeyo ka video kano balabe bategeere nti technically biri bye mbadde njogera ku gwa Uganda knowledge weeri yaki omupiira. Ekikopo kyo kigenda kubeera between Arsenal and Liverpool. But Liverpool ejja kutuuka awantu epowe kubanga bench yaayo tekyali as good as bwe yali before nga Arsenal mbi. Okitegedde nga Arsenal mbi kwa kati Arsenal nungi naye bench ya Arsenal ye yali first line up yaki ya Arsenal. Nti oyinza okwesanga nga Martinelli ali ku benchi, nga Trossard ali ku benchi, naye be baba akuba Liverpool seasons 2 emabega.
Nkuwulira.
Okitegedde? So then also engine ya Liverpool eri mu Salah.
Yeka Isaac togenda mubala.
Isaac anti ajja kubanga akolera ku Salah. Bwe ngamba engine, Isaac asobola okuba emipiira naye nga engine ye Salah. I don't think Salah is going to use the same energy throughout the season. And most likely this season we may see Salah being injured for quite some good time.
So Arsenal, how far? Champions or near close?
Champions.
Oh.
Champions League tutwala.
Champions League mujitwala.
Premier League tujitwala.
Rasta.
Yes. Arsenal is going to win the Champions League and Arsenal is going to win the Premier League.
Anyways, thank you very much, Mr. Bebecool. And like we've been saying, guys, please subscribe and always keep it pitchside. Cheers.